Happy Friday, everyone. We got a fun little work set for you guys. We played with this kind of work set before in terms of the descending and ascending ladder, so I hope you guys enjoy this one today. What we got coming up, we got plank lean for 2 to knee to nose for 3 to 5, prone shoulder raise 6 to 10 alternating, arch hold for 10 to 30 seconds, plank to bear squat for 3 to 5 reps, and 2 to 3 rounds. Rock that, take it down, just have some fun with it, get that body ready. Afterwards, we're going to do some tempo work. So tempo goblet squat, 3 to 5 reps at a 303, into a tempo dumbbell deadlift at a 3 reps at a 3-second eccentric. Dumbbell or kettlebell swing for 3 to 7 reps. Big range there, so just play, give yourself the dose you need. And then we're going to move into a lateral ski jump for 20 seconds, rest 10 seconds 2 times. 3 to 5 rounds, rock that, hit it up, and then we'll move into the work set. In the work set, we have dumbbell thrusters and kettlebell or dumbbell swing. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a high heart rate, and we're going to work a descending and ascending ladder. So first round, you'll do 25 dumbbell thrusters into 5 dumbbell or kettlebell swing, 20 thrusters, 10 swings, 15 thrusters, 15 swings, 10 thrusters, 20 swings, 5 thrusters, and then 25 swings. So we're playing around with a little bit of work here. It's going to be fun finishing off with that high number of swings. But embrace that high heart rate. Have fun with this, and let's get you ready to go. All right, let's get those feet under those hips. Let's take the arms big and tall up overhead. We're just going to reach over to one side. We're going to come back through center and reach to the other side. We'll come back up. We're going to scratch our back with both arms. Ribs in. Reach with the elbow and down. Elbow and down. Elbow, down. Elbow and down. And elbow, down. One more time. Elbow and down. Big stretch. Big reach. Oh, and big reach. Oh, good. Forward fold. Touch those toes. We're going to walk up those shins. Nice flat back. We'll come down and frame a foot. Step it back into our lizard. From here, inside hand's going to lock the front foot down and turn towards the outside hand. We'll come back to center, lower the knee, press the hip. Come back through, press the hip. Back through, and press the hip. Back through, straightening out the leg. Turn. We'll come back to center, plant the hand. Step back into that down dog, just setting those shoulders. Come back into the plank. We'll step the other foot up. Inside hand on that front foot. Turn to center. Lower the knee. Press the hip to center. Press the hip to center. And press the hip. And back to center. Straighten out the leg. Turn. Come back through. Plant the hand and step back into that down dog. Reaching those hips. And then press the heel. Hold. Press the heel. Hold. Back to center. Extend into our plank. Tiptoe those feet up. Roll yourself up. Big stretch. Reach over. Reach over. Come back down. Get you fired up. All right, let's pause the video if you'd like to do some more gentle kind of warm up. Some cat-cow curls and thread the needles are always nice with this, just to get the spine ready to go for all those swings and thrusters, or even some rotation with the lizard lunge. My bad. But take that down, get yourself ready, and then come join me for this first phase of warm up. All right, our first phase of warm up is going to consist of a lot of planking and some upper body and core work. We're going to start off with a plank lean to knee to nose. So I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see this position. I'm gripping the floor, nice wide fingers, and I'm going to push the shoulders up a little bit to get that good protraction. Pulling the ribs in, and then I'm going to lean. So I'm going to keep the shoulders over the hands. I'm going to lean to the other side. I'm going to come back to center. And then from here, I'm going to pull my knee to my nose. Coming back in, keeping that nice solid plank. Keeping those hips level, setting, and then moving into that next series of reps. So focusing your attention on the 2 leans, setting that core for those 2 knee to noses. And if you'd like to break up those reps, those 3 to 5 reps, there's nothing wrong with coming down in between those reps and doing a cat-cow, or even adding in a scat push-up or thread the needle, and and then come back in, reset the plank, and hit those next couple reps up as you go. So there's nothing wrong with breaking up those 3 to 5 with a little bit of intermission with some mobility work. After though, we're gonna lay on our stomach and we're gonna work that prone shoulder raise, so that good old handstand drill. So my toes are gonna come together, I'm gonna press into the floor, I'm gonna get set, I'm gonna pull the ribs in, press the armpits down, and then from here, once I feel that engagement and that nice hollow, I'm gonna lift the arm for a couple beats, lower down. Lift the other arm, a couple beats, lower down. And our primary focus is not necessarily how high the arm gets, but maintaining that engagement through the body as we lift the arm. So if we feel that arm lift, and then as we try and go heavier, we lose our midsection, don't go beyond that point where you can maintain that good position through the body. So take your time, listen to your body, and it's okay if you can't quite get that arm off the floor very high. It takes some time, and over time you're going to be able to get that nice engagement with that shoulder range. After the prone shoulder raise though, what we're going to do is go into our arch holds. So we're going to work in opposition. So we've just spent all that time finding that hollow position. Now we're going to work on the arch. Toes are going to stay together. I'm going to reach my legs and arms away from each other, stretching out as long as I possibly can, lengthening out that body, and then from here, coming back down after I hold anywhere from 10 to 30 seconds. Now, if double hand, double foot is a little bit too much, we can work on single arm, single leg, so unilateral work, so reaching the right hand, left foot, holding for half the time, and then switching to the opposite side, and working through that as well. So whichever one works best for you, I want you to give yourself that dose, that practice. And if you're always doing 2 feet, it's not a bad thing to work on that single arm, single leg, to work some unilateral movement. You may find that there's a little bit of weakness on one side opposed to the other. So experiment, play around with both, or each round, kind of play with something slightly different. At the end though, we're gonna come back into our plank to bear squats. We're gonna give ourselves a chance to really set and fire those shoulders up. I'm going to get myself set up with my upper body first in my table. So I grip the floor, set my shoulders, I step back into my plank with a little bit of space between my feet. Could be hip width, could be squat stance. I'm going to pull my hips straight back into that bear squat position, pressing down in those hands and trying to keep equal weight throughout the hand between the pinky and the thumb. I pull back, I press into the floor, I extend. And I'm going to take that time to give myself that moment to kind of feel that engagement in the bear squat and feel that set position in the plank. So again, you can hold as long as you'd like in either side. Just make sure you're feeling those positions, getting that good engaged position and not going beyond where your shoulders can handle. Quick little recap, we have a plank lean for 2, to knee to nose for 2, 3 to 5 times. Prone shoulder raise, 6 to 10 alternating. Arch hold, 10 to 30 second isometric hold. And then we have that plank to bear squat for 3 to 5. Relatively dynamic, but with a little bit of holding per position, just so you can own that position and really feel that engagement. 2 to 3 rounds, get a good sensation, good feel for that stuff. Heat that core up, heat those shoulders, and then we'll shift into that next phase right away. So pause, rock it, then come back and join me for some tempo work. Our next phase of warm-up is going to kickstart off with a little bit of tempo work with the dumbbell or the kettlebell. So we're going to start off with a goblet squat. And we haven't squatted yet today besides the bear squat position. So if you'd like to do a round with regular air squats, that is totally fine. But I'm going to show you that that goblet squat. So I pull the dumbbell up under my chin, so it's nice and close. My feet are going to be in my regular squat stance. So my squat stance just outside the hip to shoulder. I'm going to turn profile so you guys can see that a little bit better. But I'm nice and tall and set. I'm going to pull those hips to my heels, keeping that chest nice and tall. My feet are flat, my weight through the midfoot, and I'm going to stand. So the tempo today is 3 down, 3 up. If you want to give yourself a little pause in the bottom, that's fine. But we're just going to work on that nice smooth down and up. Working on really honing in our squat because we're going to use it pretty heavily in that dumbbell thruster today. So keeping that body tall, focus on those key mechanics, and enjoy those goblet squats. It's a great warm-up. Tempo dumbbell deadlift. Now, since we're doing swings, you can play around with this a little bit differently today, I would suggest a sumo deadlift, either single arm or a sumo deadlift, 2 hands on the bell, all right? Or even a kettlebell if you have it in between the legs. That'll kind of simulate the position you're going to be in more so for the kettlebell swing or dumbbell swing. So that's where I would go with that dumbbell deadlift. But I'll show you with single hand first and then with the 2 hands. We're going to do 3 dumbbell deadlifts with my feet in my squat stance. So my dumbbell will be between my legs and my feet. I stay as square as I can. We're going to take 3 seconds back and down to either the floor or mid-shin. Whatever allows you to maintain that good, strong back position and hinge in your body. So if you don't want to go all the way to the floor, that's fine. Just take it somewhere to below the knee where you can maintain that back position and still feel that weight through the midfoot. Now, if you'd like to as well, since we're doing that kettlebell or dumbbell swing, you can also hold on to the bell, all right, like so, and then take it back and down. Same hinge pattern, but you'll just take it to when the dumbbell touches the floor and stand up. What we're really trying to achieve here with this dumbbell or tempo dumbbell deadlift is just heating up the glutes, hamstrings, and warming up that hinge position a little bit slower before we start going very dynamic with it for the swing. So take your time with those deads, play around with either the single arm or the double hand, and see which one feels best for you today. After that, we're going to go right into some swings. So we can do the swing with the dumbbell a few different ways. Kettlebell, we're going to stick with 2 hands on the handle. But with the dumbbell, we have a few different options. We can hold the dumbbell by the bell with 2 hands. We can hold the dumbbell by the handle with 2 hands, kind of like a golf swing. Or we can do a single arm swing, keeping our body square, and we're just half the reps per side. Regardless of how you hold the dumbbell, the body and the hinge is the exact same mechanic throughout all those different holds. So I'm going to turn profile so you guys can see. And you're going to see some very mirrored mechanics to the deadlift, except we're going to keep the hand above the knees. So I'm going to start with a single arm swing. We're going to get set nice and tight. I'm going to pull the hips back. That dumbbell's going to come between. I'm going to stand aggressively with those hips and legs, keeping that arm nice and straight, and working on standing tall, nice and solid, maintain that good hinge, and not letting that dumbbell come below my knee. So it's a quick, fast hip extension and leg extension to get that dumbbell moving. Now if I hold it by the bell, same thing. So you can do a couple here. I get my hips and knees ready to go. I work on that position. I get that little hinge like a deadlift, and I go into that position. Or I can hold on to the bell, same idea. Hands stay above the knees. I work that good hip hinge, that good drive with the legs to get that kettlebell or dumbbell moving, and I go from there. Go to the range that feels the most comfortable for you. You do not have to go right overhead. I find most people, if they're doing the single arm, they feel a little bit more comfortable to go there because it's more along the lines of when we finish overhead with a press or a snatch, along those lines. When you're holding it by the handle or the bell, I would highly suggest just taking it kind of to that forehead position at the highest or somewhere above the shoulders. But let the hips and legs decide where that dumbbell goes or kettlebell goes, because we want those legs doing the majority of the work for you. Once we're done the kettlebell swing or the dumbbell swing, we're going to move into some lateral work like we did yesterday, just to kind of work on getting some jumping in there, heart rate up, working on that lateral skill. So I'm going to shift over a little bit here. I'm going to load one leg, get my arms in there, get that good swing and jump, nice and steady, working on that momentum with the body and the leg to get that nice, smooth lateral movement. Now, if you're not a jumper, you can still do this with a step. I swing step, and my other foot doesn't come off the ground until that other foot is securely fastened on the ground. So the steps or jumps don't have to be big, whatever size you feel comfortable with, so you can control that lateral energy. As a quick recap, we have a tempo goblet squat, 3 to 5 reps at a 303 tempo. Tempo dumbbell deadlift, 3 reps at a 3-second eccentric. Dumbbell or kettlebell swing for 3 to 7 reps. Lateral ski jump, 20 seconds, rest 10, 2 times, and then repeat that round to get those things moving well. After we're done that piece of the warm-up, practice round is always nice just to make sure we're comfortable with the thruster because we haven't done any just yet. We're going to work through that thruster and get you guys ready for action for the work set. So pause the video, take down that tempo work, feel your positions. Now we're going to practice the movements in the work set and get you ready to fire it off. All right. We got 2 movements in our workout today, you guys. We got our dumbbell thruster and our kettlebell/dumbbell swing. We just went through the kettlebell or dumbbell swing, pretty good length in our warm-up. So if you need some points of performance or those notes, scroll back, check that out again, then come back and hit the workout. But the thruster, we haven't done the thruster yet. We've done some squats, but we haven't done a thruster. So the dumbbell thruster is the joining of the push press and the front squat. So we clean that dumbbell up to the shoulder, so the dumbbell's resting on that shoulder position, the front rack. I'm pushing into the dumbbell a bit to keep that upper body nice and engaged, and my squat stance is set at my regular squat stance. I'm gonna get myself engaged through the core, through the glutes. I'm gonna pull into my good front squat, keeping the knees out, and I'm gonna drive up out of the bottom and use that momentum to press the dumbbell overhead. I'm gonna come down again, and then drive overhead. Come back down, good squat, drive overhead. So we wanna make sure that we're giving ourselves a good strong foundation with that front squat to deliver that good press overhead. Now from the side, it's gonna look the same. Dumbbells up on the shoulder, I squat, hip to heel, and I drive out of the bottom. My squat, my hip and legs start the press, and my arm finishes the momentum in that good overhead position that I have today. Working on experimenting and getting that arm right into that good overhead position every single time. You don't have to hold it overhead for very long, but hold it there enough for a beat or for you to take a breath so that you're set for when you bring the dumbbells or dumbbell back into that squat. Now with this workout, if you have one dumbbell at home or access to a single, you can do this a couple ways. You can alternate every 5 reps in that thruster, 5, 5, 5, 5, until you've done the rep scheme, or you can work on alternating back and forth, half rep. It's up to you how you want to take it down. Pick one way, keep it consistent so that it's not confusing you through the work set and you have that plan going in. Same idea with that kettlebell swing. If you're going to choose to do the dumbbell single arm, alternate every 5, or again, you can do half and half, however you want to do it. Set that intention at the beginning of the work set so you know going in what your plan of attack is. This is going to be a pretty fast little gasser. It's going to burn. It's going to get that heart rate going. I hope you guys like it. Let me know how it goes, but attack this one. But as always, work for good quality movement and have a lot of fun with this one, you guys. Let me know how it goes. Always interested in hearing how it is for you guys rocking these workouts at home. And stay tuned tomorrow because we have our open workout coming at you, 21.1, coming up for you guys tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. If you'd like to see what it is, it's posted already today on the games.crossfit.com page or on our workout of the day in-class workout. So check that out if you're interested in seeing what you're going to do tomorrow. The video will be followed, and we'll have a great lead into the weekend. Bye, you guys.